Today podcast, we are going to talk about bloody money in a church. You see, church is God's work. God built his own people for eternity. And so people come to church. Number one, the ultimate is salvation and how to build your life on earth. Number two, but the church needs money. But we all know that some of the money are bloody. Some of the money, maybe the way we got it, is not the right way. So as a church, as a pastor, if somebody do bloody work, let's say the person sell drugs, let's say the person into serious fraud, let's say the person is into some things that he means that he used to acquire the money worth, whatever you can call it, and it's not the right way, but the person come to church. And for instance, maybe we are doing contribution to buy church property or to build a church. As a church, if such money comes, should we accept it? The person come to church and we are raising money maybe to buy church bars to take people to church. But maybe the person money is bloody. You understand? As a church, should we refuse that money or we should accept that money? No. You see, I want you to bring your contribution. So it's a podcast. So we are not finalizing everything. So it's like a form of discussion. So I don't want you to feel like whether you support it or not, just write a comment so that we all be in one page. We are all learning. So is some of the money bloody? Is some of the money God refused? Is some of the money the church must refuse as a pastor? Okay, for instance, okay, we need a property worth like $3 million. The church is getting bigger. And we need to expand our place of worship. So we get the land, we get the property. Maybe Walmart is selling some property. So we say, okay, let's go and buy it. And somebody's in the church. Maybe it's a drug dealer. Maybe it's a serious gambler. Maybe it's a fraudster. Maybe it's 419. You know, maybe he is into star powder work. You understand? And we are raising the money, and the person's promised the church, maybe I'll give $1 million. As a pastor, as a church, should we refuse that bloody money? That is a very dicey, because most of the offering, most of the tithe, most of the fundraising, the people that contribute, we don't know how they acquire the money. And let me be honest and be real with you. Trust me, most of the people that even give the big amount of money, they are not the people that get even the money in a right way, if I'll be honest with you. Understand? I remember I went to Germany and they were raising money, and one guy came to me, said, tomorrow he has some trip to go. That time I was very baby in the law, so I don't even understand. Then I said, man of God, when I come back, this money you guys are looking for, I'll help. And the guy came, and the guy even paid half of it. And later we find out that he was into stuff. You understand? As a church, we are going to buy church bars. We are going to buy church building. We are trying to renovation the church. We are trying to cater for people financial issues. And somebody there want to contribute. But the money is bloody. The pastor, we are aware. Church members are aware that the person is a big-time drug dealer. The person is a big-time drug pusher. The person is into big-time fraud work. The person into 419, scamming and stuff. What should we do as a church? As a pastor, should I refuse the money or should I accept the money? Are you understanding me? As a matter of fact, my grandma would say, is there any money that is bad or is there any money that is good? And sometimes the people that even do the genuine work, they are stingy. They don't want to contribute. But these people that have that so-called blood money or the money that we say we should refuse, they are the people that are contributing. So as a pastor, what should I do? I need your input, because we are dealing with people. We are in society, and church is a place of every kind of person, every kind of people, everybody's accepted. Whether it's a gambler, whether it's a fraudster, whether it's a 419, all kinds, you know. So as a church, how can I tell somebody your money is bloody, so I'm going to refuse it? I want your input in that. Let's all try to try to be on the same page to bring your contribution. I tell you, say, this page, I need your comment because we are learning. It's not final say. It's something that let's share your idea. Let me share idea. So when you come to this podcast, I don't want you to feel bad or shame or you can contribute. Whether you support or not, that is part of the podcast. You understand? We're making it open. So what can we do? Now, so if some of the money is bloody, that we should refuse it, then who is going to stand at the offering bowl? Or who is going to stand on the pulpit and say, yo, come, you take your money out, it's bloody. You bring your money, it's godly. You take your money, no, you are fraudster. You are 419, I don't need your money. Who have that audacity to accept and refuse? Sometimes as a man of God, God can be real and God can come to you honestly. God can tell you this money, refuse it. That one is a lot of times God directs people. You understand? God will warn you, don't take this from this person. That is direct word from God. But I'm talking about church. We are raising money. We need financial support. We need big things. We are buying property. We are doing donation to Africa. We need donation to Caribbean country. We need to build an orphanage. We need to build a school there. We need to do some project there. And we are contributing. Maybe we need $20,000, $30,000. And somebody is a fraudster. Somebody is a drug dealer. Somebody who is into blood money. When I say blood money, a money that you acquire that is not on the right means to get it. And the person is contributing. As a church or as a pastor, should I refuse that blood money or I should take it? I need you. Don't make it so light, like because you are not in the pastor's shoe and you are not in the church shoe. We find it because these are the people, they are always with us. These are the people, they are always contributing church. These are the people who are even sometimes they sponsor the church. These are the people that buy the bus for the church. These are the people that sometimes buy the cars for the church. These are the people that help the project. Though what they are doing probably is doing something that is against the law, but they contribute. They are there in every church. I can be honestly with you. They are in every church. They are in Pentecostal churches. They are in the charismatic churches. They are non-denominational churches. They are in Adventists. They are in the Catholics. They are part of everywhere. They are part of us. Trust me, they are the people that do sponsor the church. I'm not saying they are not genuine ones there, but what about if we are contributing and somebody's money is bloody? As a church, should we accept it or should we refuse it? Understand? So if we come to that level, trust me, it's very difficult for you as a pastor. But I want to know that in the Old Testament, God even warned the church not to take blood money though. If you read the Bible in Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 18, Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 18, when God was giving the don'ts to the Israelites, He told Moses, he said, you must not bring the earning of a female prostitute or a male prostitute into the house of the Lord your God to pay any for, because the Lord your God deterred from them. That God warned them, said, don't take the money from prostitute, whether it be a man prostitute or a woman prostitute, to God's work, because God doesn't want it. When God was giving the laws to the Israelites, it was specific that this money don't accept to the temple. Yeah. But in the New Testament, that people don't go to church to vow to do that kind of stuff. In the New Testament that we say offering time. In the New Testament that we say fundraising. In the New Testament we say donation. In the New Testament we say we are raising money for priest project. How am I going to tell somebody who do 419? How am I going to tell somebody who is into serious big time fraud deals? How I'm into that? How am I going to even tell the person, don't bring the money? Are you understand? So it's a serious situation, but it's something that is going on. So we have to know how to go about it. In the Old Testament, God was very specific to them. He said, don't do it. Are you hearing me now? And even when we come to the New Testament, remember when Judas betrayed Jesus and got the money. If you read the Bible, and the Bible says that when Judas find out that what he did was wrong, even when he find out what he did was wrong, then he brought the money to the temple. The priest refused the money. Are you hearing me now? The priest refused the money because the priest said it was a bloody money. So as a church, is some money that we have to refuse? I would say yes. Maybe you know this person is a hate man. He kills people to survive. Then he bring the money to the church. And you pastor, you know this money is bloody. How are you going to accept such a money? That's the blood money. But it's very difficult for us as a church, as a pastor, to differentiate a money that is bloody and money that's not bloody. Because it's going to be hard for somebody to bring his money and say, man, come on, take your money off. Unless God directs you or speaks to you directly, then you have no option. Because God knows the reason why. But I know in person that this money, this guy is a fraudster. This guy is into stuff. That this money is bloody. How am I going to tell the person, oh, don't add your money to the contribution as a church? How? Are you hearing me now? Because somebody is doing something that your eyes cannot see. Or if you see, who are you to tell the person, okay, you cannot contribute? As a matter of fact, is it contributing for you or is it contributing for God? So somebody will say that, okay, leave the person for God to deal with the person. Somebody will say, let's throw the money out. Somebody say, why we don't pray about it? All the opinions is accepted. Are you understanding me? So I'm just saying that we are all sharing ideas. Somebody say, oh, call the person straight up. Oh, we don't need that blood money. Somebody said that, oh, pastor, you better shut up because he's not giving the money to you. It's given to God's work. So the person have a problem between him and God. So we have different opinions. But the church is in a tight corner. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to miss words. We're in a tight corner because it's very hard to tell somebody your money is bloody. Are you understand? And normally when the money is small, we accepted it. But in the kingdom of guilty, whether small or big, every sin is sin. You understand? So if a person is a fraudster and he can give $1 and that one you can accept it. But what about if you give 10,000? It's too big. You understand? Because what is big for you is small for somebody. So it's very difficult to accept this kind of money. So this one is bloody. This one is not bloody. This one is accepted. And this one is not accepted. Before even I came to do this podcast, I asked one friend of mine, said, what is your opinion on that? The answer I give to him was, this is not something that you can give answer because the person is not giving the money to you. The person is giving the money to the church. If the person is going to have any consequence, it's between him and his God. You are not the one that is going to give the money to you. If the person is giving the money to you as a person, then you can refuse it. But if the person is giving the money to church, that one is between the person and God. Yes. I want this thing to be a punchline. If the person is giving the money to you as a pastor, you say you have right to say, no, I don't want it. But if the person is giving the money to church, that one is between the person and God. If there's any judgment, it's between God and the person. Because you as a pastor, you are not the church. You are just a steward. But if the person is giving the money to you as a pastor, then you got the right to say, okay, this one, I don't want this money, it's bloody money. But if the person is giving the money to a church, he's not helping your work, he's helping the work of God. It's up to God to tell the person, no, I don't need this money. That's what I'm saying. God directs you is different. But you cannot stand the offering and say, oh, yo, I don't need your money. Come on, I don't need this money. It's bloody money. You don't have that audacity. Somebody to tell you that you have that audacity. So let's all share ideas. Let's all come to a place of discussion because it's going on everywhere. Going on in Africa, going on in Caribbean, going on in America. So it's time for us to deal with these things that are very real, that everybody's running away from it, so that maybe your idea, when your comment, my analysis, when you put together, there will become a reasonable solution. So don't feel shy or ashamed to bring an idea. If you don't support it, just bring your comment. It's a podcast. Let's discuss. I'm not preaching. We are all discussing. So blood money is everywhere. You understand? Maybe somebody's sick in the hospital. Somebody's sick in the hospital. He needs surgery in Jamaica. The church need about 6,000-7,000 money to help the person. Okay, this guy is a fraudster, but he want to pay. You are telling me I should tell the person don't pay? You see the problem I'm talking about. So we are in a tight corner. So let's read the Bible and see something. When Judas find out that what he did was wrong and he felt guilty, let's look at Matthew chapter Matthew chapter 27, verse 5 to 6. And he cast out the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hung himself. So when Judas found out that what he did was wrong, he felt bad, he felt guilty. So he brought all the money he took from them and threw it away in the temple and went to hang himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for me to put this into the treasure because it's a price of blood. So when Judas brought back the money to the temple, the high priest threw it away. But in this generation, how many pastors we are bold enough to do that? The pastor need money. I'm not going to lie to you. He need money to pay electricity. The pastor need money to pay instrumentalists. The pastor need money to build whatever. So you say, oh, we might even thank God for that. You got a point. But is it good money or bloody money? You understand? The priest said in Matthew 27, verse 6, and the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful to put this money to this treasure because it is price of a blood. So the priest refused it. So it's not every money the church must accept it. That is another point, another school of thought. The priest refused the money. But another part is when the person is giving to the church, and you pastor, what audacity do you have to tell the person I cannot? It's going to be a serious case. I'm telling you, these are things that most pastors run away from it. Before I came to this podcast, I called my friends to ask them their opinion. Everybody's trying to beat about the bush. I say, yo, you guys got to beat the bush. Don't beat around it. Because it's like, it's what we are going through. We know people give big offerings. Most of them, they are into stuff. We know people that sponsor the church. Most of them, they are into all kind of stuff. But they are the people helping the church. The people that sponsor all kinds of programs. Most of the money is bloody. So should we refuse it? I told you from the beginning, if God tells you, then you got to refuse it. But if the person is giving, not to you as a pastor, but as a church, to my understanding, that is between the person and God. Are you hearing me now? So it's something that is hard to differentiate. For instance, offering time. The offering boy is there. The prostitute in the church. The gambler is the church. The froster is the church. The scammer is the church. And we are all putting the offering bowl, one offering bowl. And trust me, they give even the bigger money. Most of that. So how am I going to stand there as a pastor and tell them, oh no, your money, no, you are RN, so put it inside. You are medical doctor, put inside. You are nurse, put inside. You are mechanic, but you are 419, hold back. Yo, who does that? Yo, you are this money is a gambling money. Yo, tell me, which pastor can do that? At the end of the day, when the person tells you, am I giving the money to you? Why are you taking it personal? So our hands are tied. No, so all the two scriptures we have read before, the money was refused. So that is another wisdom. But there's another man in the New Testament that when Jesus went to Capernaum, then the people, there was a man there who was a centurion, like he was a, let me say, army officer or army commander, and his servant was sick. So the people were in love with that man because they went to Jesus. The Bible said they compelled Jesus. The people forced Jesus to go to his house to pray for his servant. Guess what? And the reason was that not because he's a righteous person, not because he was a Christian, not because of anything, but the Bible said because he had built a synagogue or a temple for that town, Capernaum. See that? But when Jesus decided to go to the person's house to pray for the person called Jesus' attention and said, you don't need to come to my house because I am not worthy for you to come to my house. Somebody who is not worthy to go to, somebody who is not worthy for Jesus Christ to come to his house. But he uses money to build a temple, and the people go there to worship God. This is very dicey. Somebody who said that I'm not worthy for you to come to my house, to even to pray for me. But yet, he uses money to build a temple for the people to worship God. But that money, they accepted it. If Jesus cannot enter his house, if he's not worthy to welcome Jesus in his house, how come the same person uses money to build a temple? Can you imagine that? So it's a sign to us. I don't know that. Okay. How can he use his money to build a temple? But when Jesus is going to his house, he said, "Jesus Christ, you can't come to my house." What was he doing that he said, "I am not worthy"? What does he have in the house that he said, "Christ, don't come to my house, but I'm not qualified, I am not worthy, I don't deserve it, I'm a sinner for you to come to my house"? What was he into? Was he a fraudster? Was he a killer? Was he a bad man? What kind of thing he was doing that he was telling Jesus, "You don't need to come to my house because I'm not worthy"? You are not worthy. Jesus even go to Mary, Joan, and their house to eat, and you use your money to build a church, and we're telling the one that we are worshiping that you cannot come to my house because I'm not qualified. So what kind of money he used to build that temple? How did he acquire that money? It's mind blowing. It's baffling. And so let's all read it so that we come to one page. I'm telling you, this podcast is free. It's free zone. Yeah, don't take my opinion as final. You can bring your input. We write it down. Let's all chill, talk, communicate, and come to one level. We are all learning. So it's a different podcast. We are trying to figure out and deal with difficult things in church. That is everyday related life. Pastors go through, church members go through, pastors see, church members see. We all know this guy is a street guy. We know this guy is on the street. We know all this guy into stuff, but they come to church. And we know when we raise the money, when we say 20, they are the first people that will get up. We know when we need money to buy the buses, they are the first people that will contribute. We know when we want to do crusade back home, they are the real people that we call them. They are part of us. Should we refuse their money? Because we know that their money is blood. We know how they get it. They are wicked people. We know they suck people blood to get their money. We know they bring people down to get the money. We know they do stuff. So as a church, as a pastor, should we refuse that money? Let's all share ideas. This is a critical thing. So let's go to the Centurion Jesus Christ. Somebody who uses money to build the temple. But Jesus is going to his house. He said, "No, I'm not waiting for you to come to my house." What was the guy hiding? What was he doing? How did he acquire the money? Okay, let's go there. Luke chapter 7. And when they came to Jesus, they besought him instantly, saying that this man is worthy, for he loved our nation and he had built a synagogue. They told Jesus that the man is somebody who had built the synagogue for them. Trust me, to build a synagogue in those days, you must be a worthy man. You must be one of his kind. So the people said, "He's a good person. Christ, you don't need," can you imagine? You don't need to, you being the healer, you got to go to somebody who have a problem. It's like telling the hospital to go to the patient's house. Understand? And Christ being very humble to these people, being the people's man, Jesus decided to go to the guy's house, the centurion. Because as a pastor, if I hear somebody have used his money to build a temple, yes, of course, I'll fall in love with that person. I'm not going to pretend. I'm sitting here. Let me be honest. When I hear that, I might not even care how he got that building. All that I hear, "Oh, he built, yeah, that guy built a temple for Christ. My God, yeah, I'll be willing to see that man." Because people have used their money to build theaters. People are using their money to sponsor fashion. So if somebody using money to build a temple and you are telling me if I hear I'm not going to fall in love, I'm going there. I'm going to be the first person to go there. Let me be real with you. Because probably I need him to buy me something, to build one for me too. You understand? So it's very normal. But when Jesus was on the way going, the Luke chapter 7 verse 6, the man said, "For I am not worthy that you should enter my roof." So what are we going to say about that? The first one, he said, the whole nation said, is worthy, is good man. He built the synagogue. Christ followed what he said. He wanted to go to see the man. But on the way going, the man said, please, I'm not ready for you to come to my house. How can we say this thing? A person who abuses money to build a synagogue, temple. Now that me, I'm here now. Then somebody come to church. Pastor, do you want to open branch in Cuba? Yeah. Don't worry. I have money. I'm going to build a temple for you. If I'm not careful, I'm not even going to pray about it. Because all that you think about expansion of the gospel, all that you think about how it's going to get better, all that you think about the winning soul, unless God won you. But when Christ heard it, Christ decided to go. Excuse me. Christ decided to go. So Christ followed the people to go to the man. And the man said, no, I'm not worthy. I don't deserve. I'm so full of sin that this man does not need to enter my roof. But he's the one that built the synagogue for the people. So let's all come to understand that stuff like this, if we're a pastor and it's a church, it's a very difficult thing. But to be honest with you, when God wants you or when God speaks to you, don't do it. That is different. Or tell the person. That one, there is a way of doing it. You can call the person privately, but not in public. So please, yesterday, God spoke to me. I don't need to take this money. That's different. But you can't stand in the church and say, man, take your money off. No. And sometimes too, leave the person. Pray for the person. It's between the person and it's God. That's my idea. Your idea is accepted. Write comments. And I will come back to you the next podcast. And we are going to discuss it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be hot. I need your contribution. I will continue this podcast. And we are going to discuss it. God bless you.